The St. Louis Blues fell to the Utah Mammoth in an embarrassing fashion, and we need to talk about it.
Hey, this is Brayden Chen. Subscribe to Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am your host of Locked On Blues, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you about our St. Louis Blues here in the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am so sick of this team. I am so sick of the countless mistakes that I am seeing on the ice. And I have had it. I know we're only a few games into this season, but enough is enough. So we're going to talk about the loss. This does not look like a playoff team by any means. And then, of course, my favorite Friday segment, which is my only Friday segment, Are We Feeling Blue? Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. I am live today because I am enraged, okay? I'm watching the game last night angrily. I am angrily watching the game last night. I go to bed. I do my reaction video when I'm at work this morning. And I was just so angry that I had to record it multiple times because I said some words that I should not be saying. But I am watching this team play horrible hockey. And you know what? I am sick of making excuses. Oh, well, it's because they're playing a team that's on a hot streak. No, at the end of the day, you can lose games that won't make your fan base upset. I mean, sure, your fan base wants to see you win, but your fan base also wants to see clean, good hockey. They want to see your offense actually trying. They want to see your defensemen putting pressure. And I don't see that at all. And I was defending so much Joel Hofer because I believed in him. I really did. And listen, I'm not going to say, he's a bad goalie because I still think that he is a good goalie, but right now he is not playing good hockey. And I don't know what the Blues are going to do about this because this is an issue. I got a great comment on my social media last night that I agreed with. And it said, if Jordan Binnington played the entirety of the game, maybe the Blues would have won. Maybe. But with Joel Hofer, you have to really think about the fact that he has struggled numerous times. And Colton Ellis, who you put on waivers, who was claimed from Buffalo, you don't have him. So that's a whole other debacle. I've always said that the goaltending on the Blues is not an issue just because I really, and I truly do mean this. The way that I view Jordan Binnington is all the way up, right? And I call him Binner the winner for a reason. He can have a bad game, but I know he will bounce back. I know how he plays, right? With Joel Hofer, I don't know how or if he's going to be able to bounce back from the games that he's played in. The one thing I will say is, I did say if they have to pull Joel Hofer again, don't put him back in, and at least he didn't get put back in. But overall, I don't want to rip on him too much because I know Coach Montgomery did say, hey, he's still a good goalie. We're going to get him back. And I understand that you don't want to pick apart a player, that much. But at the same time, it's not pretty hockey. It's very ugly hockey that I'm seeing from him. And he just looks off. And I don't want to speculate and say that there might be issues off the ice for him. I don't know what's going on with him, but he looks off. And I think we can all agree on that. We know what we're going to get out of players like a Justin Folk. And I hate to come at Justin Folk and say that, but we know what we're getting out of him. With Joel Hofer, we saw him play a pretty good season last year. And now, I mean, let's talk about some of the stuff that transpired in the contest. 3 minutes in, you have an Ian Cole first goal this season for him. And listen, I just want to say this off the bat. I am a fan of the fact that, you have a really, hot mammoth team. And I'm not in any way putting that down. I think that all these players are good players, right? I think that if you're in the NHL, any player is going to be a good player. But I mean, Ian Cole, I mean, that's just, it's one of those guys where, he's actually really good on defense and he frustrates me, okay? He frustrates me. But let's get back to where this all kind of went wrong. Mind you, this is about like 8 minutes, by the way. Like when I'm talking about this contest, like I'm not talking about the entirety of the first period. I am talking about like 8 minutes of the first frame, mind you. So Ian Cole gets his first goal this season. Logan Cooley, 6 minutes in, gets a goal and makes a 2-zip. Oh, a minute later, you know who scores again? Logan Cooley. 3 goals. Boom, boom, boom. Joel Hofer gets pulled on the power play. Listen, I just need to take a pause for a second. It is so embarrassing, mind you, when another team scores a hat trick on your home ice. But this was a natural hat trick, okay? This was a natural hat trick. Let that sink in for 1 second. And this all took place within minutes of each other. It's not like the entirety of the game, you're having, goals sporadically. No, like this is like boom, 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 okay? 10 minutes in, Binnington's a net. They're on the power play. Logan Cooley gets a natural hat trick. Okay, so that was an awful period. Like that, it's so bad. So bad. Second period. Pius Suter gets his 3rd goal of the season. Now, what I will say is that was good. We like when players score on our team, so that was good. Then, playing his 600th career NHL game, Bushi is able to score on the power play and makes it 4-2. But, my friends, who do I always tell you is an issue for the Blues? Who do I always tell you have to watch out for him? It is Clayton Keller. Makes it 5-2. So, that sucks, right? Like, you think that the lead's cut in half. Boom, it's not. Third frame, the Aussie Nathan Walker scores with a great feed from Sonny. It's good to have Sonny back. And Dylan Holloway actually did pick up the secondary assist, so he got his first assist of the season. 2 minutes in, it's 5-3. You can kind of feel life coming back because Philip Broberg gets his first goal. Another great feed from Sonny and makes it 5-4, right? So this is about like 5 minutes in. And at this point, my friends, I am like, you know what? I can see this team coming back. I can see it. I can feel it. I feel good. Oscar Sundquist is making a huge impact on the ice. And you know what happens? I will spoil it for you. 2 more goals by the Mammoth. So that's how the night went. And oh boy, I can't tell you how frustrated I was and how I still am frustrated as I'm talking to you, because it makes no sense to me by any means how you just have such bad home games. You have won 1 game at home. Mind you, you had a 4-game homestand. You had 1 game at home before you went on the road for those 2 games. So you played 5 games at home and you've only come across 1 win and 3 points total. Obviously, the overtime loss to the Kings. Yeah. Whoa, this team. Good job, St. Louis. So I'm going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you why this is not a playoff team by any means. I am so frustrated. I'm crashing out, if you couldn't tell. At least I actually am putting like some more effort in than the guys do on the ice. Besides Oscar Sundquist, I really like Sonny, and I'm happy that he's back. So shout out to Sonny. Rugiet. Let's be real, making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress, I'm tired, or it happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. And that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast acting, doctor prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it so much easier to get it started. And you can connect with a board certified doctor 100% online. So there's no awkward waiting rooms and there's no in person appointments. It's about confidence, connection, and getting back the moments that matter. So this is what you need to do. Visit rugiet.com/lockedonnhl to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/lockedonnhl. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNHL so they know that we sent you. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making the moves. Gametime. Hockey season, it's officially here, and nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's be real, getting tickets can be a total headache between waiting in queues, surprise fees, and prices that jump right before checkout. It's easy to get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your team. And that's where Game Time comes in, the app that gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. I love using Game Time because one, I can see my view from my seat, which makes that actually really beneficial for me as I'm only like 5'2", so I kind of like to see my view. Also, I like that there's no surprise fees at checkout. So I know exactly what I'm going to be paying. And you can find NHL tickets for under $25. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDON NHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. I am so frustrated that I am laughing. Not because I'm happy, but because I'm angry. Because this is not a playoff team by any single means. This is a team that is disappointing. This is a team that is frustrating. And this is a team that I do not understand and I do not get. Because the key to the Blues, it's not the defense. We know the defense is going to be an issue. We have known that. What gets me is the offense. And I get so frustrated with certain players on this team right now because I expect so much more out of them because I am not by any means impressed whatsoever with what these guys have done. I mean, Robert Thomas, he looks like a mess. I'll say it, he doesn't look good. Okay? Nathan Walker, to put this in perspective, had more shots than Robert Thomas did. And you might be wondering, Haley, what's going on with Robert Thomas? I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that his line continuously is changing. I don't know. But what I do know is that he is supposed to be the guy that creates action. And I'm not seeing that from Robert Thomas, and it is incredibly disappointing. And I know Dylan Holloway had an assist, right? But at the same time, he only had one shot. Like, we're just not seeing a lot from the guys that we're supposed to be seeing it from. I mean, Braden Chen, -3. Jake Neighbors, -3. Like, it's just to the point, obviously, same line, but it's just to the point where I don't know what needs to change because I don't know if this team is willing to make the changes that I would personally make. And what I would personally do is on the first line, I would have Robert Thomas centering. To the left, I would have Dylan Holloway, and then to the right, Jordan Kyrou. Now, you might be wondering, why would I have that as a line? Because we know the chemistry that Dylan Holloway and Jordan Kyrou have every single time that they get moved around and they're not together, they don't play as well. That's the truth. Oh, by the way, when you don't have a consistent lineup every single night, yeah, you're going to have issues with chemistry and connection. That's just how it is. Oh, the defensive pairs. How did I think Logan Mayu did last night? I was not a fan at all. And you can call me a hater. You can call me negative -2. I mean, he didn't really spend a lot of time on the ice. He was only on the ice for like 10 minutes. Tyler Tucker had more ice time than him. Like, the point is that there is an issue right now, and I don't necessarily know the solution. But what I do know is that right now, this is not good hockey at all. And you can't tell me now losing to three different. Well, the first loss at home was really ugly. The loss to Chicago was really ugly. And then the loss last night to Utah was really ugly. So you lose now really in ugly manners to three different teams in the Central. And you're going to tell me that this is a playoff team? You lost to the Blackhawks 8-3. How are you a playoff team? Utah, I can give Utah credit. They have a lot of good young players. And listen, I'm not naive. I know that they're still, up and coming. It's the fact that they were able to score 4 goals on you in the first frame. You have a player, Logan Cooley, get a hat trick, a natural hat trick. I don't understand it. And you know what also bothers me about this team? Why can't they have hot starts? Why can't they start off the game on a nice note instead of always trying to be like the comeback kids? It's not cute. It's not good hockey. Honestly, it looks desperate. And they're going to have to play Detroit, and they're a good team. So I don't know why this is happening. I have a comment saying, and yet they beat Dallas. And here's what I want to say to that, because that's also my next point. The Blues, and I've been saying this now since last season for a while. If you've been listening to my show, my everydayers know, I always say this. The Blues, they play down to their teams, and then they play tough against teams that they consider to be good. Dallas is a cup contending team, okay? They play some of their best hockey against Dallas. But yet, against teams like Chicago, Utah, LA, Wild, yeah, they don't play like that. They don't play too tough of hockey. They play like easy. We're just going to pass the puck around and hope for the best. Like, they don't play the same way. And it's so incredibly frustrating. And I don't know if it's like an ego thing. Oh, well, we made it to the playoffs last year. So I don't care. Braden Shen, the captain of the team, said himself, I would not call us a playoff contending team unless we make it back into the playoffs. And that's the captain who said that at the end of the season presser. So I had to pull that quote back up because I knew he said something about it. And he's right. This isn't a playoff team. This is a bottom team. I can't tell you how frustrated I am. And I'm sure you're frustrated too. I mean, we're all Blues fans, obviously. And when they made it to the playoffs last year and they had like that 12-game win streak and life was dandy, I could not believe what I was watching. I'm like, you know what? This is the start to something really special in St. Louis again. You have Coach Montgomery. I mean, like, I just felt the good vibes. We didn't even have Dylan Holloway in that last stretch. And you lose to Winnipeg in a really heartbreaking manner. But I thought to myself, they're going to have a healthy Dylan Holloway. They're going to have a really motivated team because they almost beat the President Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets. And you know what they did this season? They lost 5-0 on home ice to the Wild to start off the season. So that should tell me everything I need to know about this team. I am just seeing some of the worst hockey. Jake Neighbors had a good start, and I'm not going to, categorize every single player as being awful. And I hate saying that about professional athletes, but Coach Montgomery needs to realize at some point, maybe changing up these lines continuously is doing more harm than good. But what do I know? I'm not a hockey coach. Before I continue on to my favorite Friday segment, I want to talk to you about my friends over at FanDuel, and then we're going to go into Are We Feeling Blue? Right now, what I want you to do, though, is leave a comment since we're live right now and tell me if you feel like this was a good week or a bad week for the Blues, and we will react. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because I am obsessed with making my same game parlays. That is right. I'll tell you my little key to success. I always do a money line, right? So I'll pick a team to win the game. Then I do a player prop. It could be anything like rushing, receiving, passing, you name it. I do a little combination. So it is a 2-leg parlay. I usually put down $5, but you know what? It usually does win because the smaller your parlay is, the better chance that you have to win. So just a little FYI. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. So I asked this question every single Friday here on the show, Locked on Blues, and my everydayers know it, and it is called Are We Feeling Blue? Was this a good week or was this a bad week for the St. Louis Blues? And I will be the first to say this was a drumroll, bad week. You went 1-3. Well, actually, it was like 1, 2, and 1, but you went 1, 2, and 1. They still lost to the Kings. I know you get a point. I don't care. It was still a pathetic performance. Oh my gosh, Justin, get off this team. But anyways, yeah, you had a really bad homestand. The win against Dallas, congratulations. Like, again, my expectations are so low right now that, like, yeah, that was cool. But it's unacceptable. It's so unacceptable of how this team plays. And I don't want us to brush past the fact that we lost 8-3 to the Chicago Blackhawks. Like, that in itself should just eliminate you from the playoffs for this season. And then an ugly, ugly loss to Utah. Now we have a goaltending issue with Joel Hofer. I mean, my friends, we have an issue with our offense not showing up. There are so many more problems, and I just don't know how this team can improve. And Amy's awesome. Amy's been commenting the whole time and said, horrible. The inconsistency is so frustrating to watch. And yes, it is. Some of us that don't live in St. Louis and live outside of the city have to pay for, ESPN Plus. I do. And I'm like, wait, I am spending my hard-earned money to watch this team. Now, I'm going to continue to do it because that's what being a fan is, right? That's where they got me. I'm loyal. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't understand the product that they're putting on ice. And I know how this team's going to go. Because if anything, the Blues, I mean, as unpredictable and as inconsistent as they are, they're also predictable at the same time because they're going on the road tomorrow, right? To play the Detroit Red Wings. And the Red Wings, I just want to let you know, they're a team right now that is actually like pretty dang good, okay? I know it's the beginning of the season. They played 8 games, but they're 5-3-0. So 10 points so far. So they're on a 2-game losing streak right now, but still pretty good team, right? They play Detroit on the road. They play Pittsburgh on the road, and then they return back home to then play Detroit again. Oh, after Detroit, they play the Canucks at home, and they don't do good at home, so that in itself is a little bit concerning. Then they play Columbus on the road, Oilers back home, Capitals on the road, and then, you know what? There's one game that they could potentially win, and that's against the Sabres. But you know what? Colton Ellis might be in net, and I might crash out. Will the St. Louis Blues ever win at home again? Like, that's the question. And, oh, by the way, I know Monty has a 5-year coaching deal. How long will he survive if this team doesn't continue to win? I know it's the beginning of the season, but how long? How long will it be until the Blues consider trading different players? Like, they should really try to trade Justin Folk. Will Braden Shen is one of my favorite guys. I have watched him throughout his whole entire NHL career. But again, will the Blues make some moves that are going to shake up the team? And could it be him? Like, I'm just saying that I know that a lot of these guys have no trade clauses, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to do something because this is just really bad hockey. Also, for the fans, for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, how much longer are we going to have to watch these games and not see change? And somebody said to me, because I said I'm worried about Joel Hofer on Twitter at Locked On Blues. And somebody said, let's go pull it up because this actually bothered me, this comment. And not a lot of comments bothered me, so to say, but this one actually did. And blaming this solely on Hofer is wild. And listen, commenter, I am not blaming this solely on Hofer. If you listen to my episodes, if you just do like 2 seconds of an investigation on what I talk about, I actually blame the defense more than anybody. So that to me is something that annoys me. Then somebody said, well, he needs defense in front of him before I jump on the bandwagon. It is not a bandwagon in any single way to say, yeah, Joel Hofer hasn't had a good start to the season and this is not like him. That's called a fact. And if you want to defend it, that's fine. But then don't complain to me when this team isn't winning hockey games. Because I don't need Joel Hofer apologists. I have spoke to Joel Hofer numerous times, right? He's such a hardworking kid. But at the same time, I'm not going to come on this podcast and be like, oh, yeah, it's okay. Is it okay? Like, I think that we can support and love our players without making excuses time and time again, because that's what it comes down to. So maybe I'm too harsh, or maybe I'm just too real. Either way, the Blues, they need to start winning games. And I appreciate all of you that watch and listen and see me crash out time and time again. Because as a Blues fan, it's like we were so excited all summer about what this team could have done. And I still said it, and I'll say it again. Them not bringing back for one season, I know people call this a crazy take, and I don't care what you have to say about it, but them not bringing back Ryan Suter for just one more season, to me, was a curse put on this team. Them getting rid of John Kelly, I know, broadcasting, but still, curse on this team. I'm really upset about Ryan Suter still. Like, I'm going to be petty about it. But no, in all honesty, call up Dvorsky. That's my guy. Man, I wish that we had more defensive prospects ready, but they're just not at that level yet, And, Justin Carbonneau is killing it in juniors. I mean, he had a Hattie the other day, so I'm excited about him. It's just really frustrating when the guys in the system are just not ready yet, and you don't want to rush their developmental process by any means. So then it does make you kind of question, well, what are the Blues going to do now? Because I don't want to see a plateau, right, with Matthew Kessel and Logan Mailloux. I don't want to see that. I don't like that. Also, Monty said that once Logan Mailloux is back in the lineup, he's not going to be taken out again. So we'll see how long that lasts, okay? But evidently, I feel like change is going to happen. And my friends, at this point, nobody is safe besides like Biddington, Robert Thomas, Ruzi, Pareko probably. But yeah, that's another thing. No trade rumors surrounding Kyrie again. I can't take it. All right, I will talk to you all tomorrow because tomorrow is a game day and I'm prepared to take the loss. You can't spell blues without an L. I'll talk to you. And like always, let's go Blues.